So if you're here, this is because you have a player movement, and well, it basically exits the screen and you want to keep it inside of it. And actually your solution is using one line of code. So when I implement this line of code, as you can see now, my player is no longer exiting the screen, even if I try it super hard. So to start with this, first of all, the source project is going to be in the description down below if you want to download it and try it yourself. So after having here your scene setup of the player, I will go ahead and add a brand new script. By the way, I'm going to be doing all this with a character body. If you're using a rigid body, an area 2D, etc., well, then your movement code is going to be slightly different. I have actually covered the player movement with move and slide in the previous video, so I will just go a little bit quicker. I will firstly declare a speed variable over there, then in the process what I will do is that I will get my horizontal direction, okay, and this is going to be equal to input dot get axis, and I will get here as my negative value UI left, and as my positive one UI right, and I will do something quite similar but with the horizontal with the vertical direction. So there we have it, and then I will store both in a direction vector exactly like this, and then I will update my velocity taking into account my direction, okay, and then I will multiply this using my speed variable that I declared at the beginning, and then finally I will just call move and slide. So this will basically give us a quite simple movement, okay, 8 ways movement that I can move around. Let me prefix delta with an underscore so that this warning actually disappears. There we go, and everything still works. We have the problem of diagonal movements being a little bit faster, so we can simply normalize here the direction over there, and now everything, as you can see, is working as it should. So there we have it, okay, and we get the exact same problem that basically our player would exit the screen, okay. If I go right here, it is exiting the screen. So the solution is actually quite simple. What we want to do is to avoid our player getting out, and for that we have to clamp our position, and for clamping we need a maximum value, and the maximum value in this case is going to be equal to our screen size. The minimum is going to be 0, okay, basically right the left of the screen, and the maximum is going to be our screen width and height, okay, because for example here this position over here is close to 1100, and if I go to the window width is exactly that value. So I want to clamp my player movement from 0, that is exactly this point. This is going to be my minimum, okay, in both y and x, and my maximum x is going to be this value, okay, it's not going to be able to go more, okay, and then my maximum y is going to be this one, okay. So it is going to be able to move like this, but it will know it is not going to be able to be more than 648 in this case, okay. In your own project it is going to be your viewport width and height. So how do we do this exactly? So there are several ways. We can have here a variable that I'm going to call screen size, okay, and then here on ready I can basically assign this, okay. So here the value that we want is get viewport rect.size, okay. This will get the measure that we are looking for, and this would indeed return the screen size, but there is a better way of writing this, a shorter way, that would be with the onReady attribute, exactly like this, okay. So there we are getting the screen size, and then to clamp this, the easiest and most straightforward of doing this would be to make position equal to position.clamp, okay, and here it will require us to provide a minimum and a maximum, and as I told you, the minimum this is a vector 2, so pay attention, we can't write here 0, we have to provide here vector, so vector 2 dot 0, and the maximum is basically going to be our screen size. And our screen size, by the way, is also a vector 2, because our screen size has a width, the x, and height, the y. Okay. Also, we are using here the clamp that all vectors have, and position is a vector. Okay, so we are using indeed the clamp function that is exactly inside of any kind of vector that you may have. Because, for example, if I put after vector 2.0 dot, I'm going to be able to indeed find the exact same clamp function. Okay, and if you wanted to write this but differently and basically using the clamp function like that doesn't exist only inside of vectors, that works similarly but not in the exact same way, you could, for example, do position.x equal to clamp, and here as you can see, clamp not only doesn't need a minimum and a maximum but also the value that we want to clamp. So here, what is the value that we want to clamp? Position.x. The minimum is going to be 0 and the maximum basically our screen size .x. Now I will copy and paste this and do the exact same thing but with the y-axis. Okay, so this, as you can see, will indeed also just clamp my player movement. I cannot exit the screen, and if I comment these two out, okay, and I basically execute this one, as you can see, both are going to be working in the exact same way. If you are able to actually understand this one, it is going to be the best and most straightforward, but well, I also wanted to explain the other one just for you to understand a little bit more. Okay, so indeed this is how clamp works, in this case for getting a player not to exit the screen. Make sure that you are subscribed for more Godot videos, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.